Today we're going to talk about the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. So essentially what the converse says is that if you know that the Pythagorean theorem says that the two legs squared should equal the hypotenuse, then the opposite should also be true. If I give you three random numbers for the legs and the hypotenuse, can you figure out whether it actually is a right triangle by using the formula? So the most challenging part of this is that you have to remember that the hypotenuse is the longest side. And so what we're going to do over here is we're always going to go through it and we're going to find the longest one, which in this case would be 17. So we're going to figure out what is 17 squared. And again, the longest one is 25, 15, 12, and 15 again. And it's important that you know the longest side because this math problem is only true if you use the longest side. And so it doesn't matter which one is A and which one is B. I personally like to put mine in number order so that I put the smallest one first and then I put them in order. So if I just go from the smallest one to the middle one to the largest one, then I don't ever make any mistakes. But it is not necessary. Your friend could have chosen to put 20 here and you could have put 15 here and it would have been totally fine. So the first thing you need to do is go ahead and square them. So if you know your times tables, you're going to go ahead and plug those in. And then we're going to actually add those together to see if they equal. So let me get that. It didn't write out there very nicely there. 225 plus 64. And so we're going to add those two numbers together. So 64 plus 225 gives us 289. And so we have a total here of 289. And then we're going to use our calculator. We're going to take 17 squared. We also get 289. And so this one is true. It is a right triangle. So 289 equals 289, which is true. Therefore, that makes those three numbers a right triangle. And we're going to check that on each of these. 20 times 20 is 400. And so when you add these two together, I get 625. And if I do 25 squared, we get 625 as well. And so again, I have 625 and 625. So those are equal. And so this one is considered a right triangle. So let's try a couple more and see if they're always going to work out that way or if maybe we find some that don't work out so nicely. So we have 8 squared and 9 squared and 15 squared. And we know our 15 is 225. We've been using that. And we know 8 squared is 64 and 9 squared is 81. And if you add up 64 plus 81, we get an answer of 145. And clearly 145 is not equal to 225, and so this one is not a right angle. Or if you were choosing yes or no, you would choose no, it's not true. And so we're going to try that on the next two as well. So 6 squared is 36, 9 squared is 81, and we're checking it against 12 squared, which is 144. And so 81 plus 36 is 117. So again, this one is not equal, and it is not a right triangle. And so we'll try one more. 9 squared and 12 squared, and does it equal 15 squared? So 81 plus 144, does it equal 225? And again, I always check it with my calculator just so that I don't make any silly mistakes, and I do get 225. So this one is again equal, and it will be a right triangle. So all you're doing is for the three numbers that are given to you, you are checking to make sure that our formula a squared plus b squared does in fact equal the c squared. And if you get any other answer, then it is not going to be considered a right triangle. Thanks.